Hey everybody, man, welcome to today's training session. Definitely want to get some things accomplished. Want to push towards goals, targets that you have in your personal life, and definitely want to help you hit those things. So before we even get started, just going to introduce myself. My name is Devrinn Paul, also known as Coach DP. I've been coaching since the age of 17 years old. I started out as a basketball coach, worked my way up from a student manager all the way to a Division I coach. Throughout my journey of coaching basketball, along the way, I actually learned that all of the things that I teach through basketball actually helped me in my personal life as well. So I was able to understand as a younger student athlete and coach that I'm building all of the skill sets that it actually takes in order to be successful in life. So now I actually help others to increase their performance, whether it's on the basketball court or off the basketball court, with life skills, different tips, tools, and strategies to help you to become the best version of you. So in the process of me doing that, I've been able to help a lot of teams, organizations, individuals to increase their income. Also, developing the athlete's mindset, which all of us really have. We just got to tap into the bag, y'all. We got to get to the bag. So today I'm actually going to show something to you that's actually going to be able to help you to really conquer the things that are in front of you going into a new year, really looking to become better as individuals and people. I also noticed that we have to be pushing ourselves. We have to be becoming uncomfortable in situations that actually help us to grow, right? So I know that sometimes I can get caught up with doing a lot of different things at one time, right? Like I could get caught up with thinking that, hey, I'm going to start this this one thing for the year, or just thinking about whatever it is, and I'm just like, hey, I'm gonna definitely get that done. But at the same time, I'm also noticing that I need a little help, right? I need something that's going to help me to get these things done and to build that personal momentum in my life. Because if I don't build that personal momentum, I know that I can easily stop. And I don't know about you, but it's the starting and the stopping that really kills my vibes. If I'm starting and I'm stopping stuff, I'm not really getting the best out of myself. I'm not really pushing to that next level. So I want to give you a play that I run in my personal life and I share with all my personal clients to help them to be more efficient, right? Because you can have great ideas. You could be wanting to make more money. You could be on a lot of different calls and getting a lot of information. But the fact of the matter is, if you're not executing, things are not going to change, right? Like I had to realize that myself as well. I was doing a lot of good things. I was a good person, but that wasn't increasing my income. You know what I'm saying? Like that wasn't getting me to places that I really wanted to be. So I'm gonna share this play with you, and this is very, very, very beneficial, as well as you can actually get these things done to help you get things done. Right. So if you're struggling and you want to build some momentum, even if you're not struggling and you just want to go into the new year with the momentum, with a good speed of in your personal inventory, I guarantee that what we're going to talk about today during the training is definitely going to help you with that. All right. Well, so let's go ahead and get into it. Everybody knows that I'm biblical based. So we're going to stand on the scripture today. And the scripture is Proverbs chapter 21, verse 5. And we're coming out of the Message version. It says, careful planning puts you ahead in the long run. Hurry and scurry puts you further behind. All right. So this really speaks towards, preparation leads to celebration. We have to be prepared if we're looking for things in our life to change. We have to be actually doing the internal work, the inside work, which takes preparation. It takes us planning the things that we want to do. Nothing just happens, right? Remember, winning is intentional. And that's what I believe that the scripture is telling us. If you want to win, if you want to get things done, you can't be hurrying up and trying to put something together at the last minute. It says careful planning puts us ahead in the long run. So we're going to do some careful planning today, y'all. And listen, look, I'm not that serious, y'all, but I really want to get the point across today because I want you to be able to take something from today's training and actually grow with it. All right. So First thing, as we go through the slides, I want you to be identifying 3 major areas in your life that you're looking to improve, or just where you would like to see some different results. It doesn't have to mean that something's wrong in a direct area in your life or your business. It just means that this is an area where you're going to focus in on going into 2022. This is an area that you're looking to increase going into the new year. So I want you to kind of start thinking about those things, get a pen and paper out, and on the side, as I go through today's training, I want you to be writing those things down to really get a good grasp, because after we get done, I'm gonna go around, because this is not one of those sessions or training calls where I'm going to be doing everything. This is so we can all grow together, right? Like I'm doing this same exercise that I'm walking you through. I'm doing this every single month, okay? So this is not something that I'm just preaching. I'm actually doing everything that I'm talking about. So I want to get some feedback from you guys as well. So just have that pen and paper out and follow along as we go through, because remember, your mind forgets about 80% of what you hear. But when you write something down, it gives you the power to come back to it. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later. I ain't even going to hop into all of that, right? But what we're about to cover today has helped me to be able to have more energy, right? And I know energy is one of the things that a lot of people talk about. We bring up a lot when we think about entrepreneurship. The things that I'm going to share with you today has given me more self-confidence. I know that was an area as an entrepreneur in my family and looking to do different things. Sometimes you can get deterred by people around you that maybe don't see the vision as clear as you do. And they shouldn't, because if I gave you my glasses and you put them on, you would not be able to see as good as I'm seeing, right? So I understand that, but what I'm gonna share with you today gave me more self-confidence. Right. It also allowed me and my wife to have a good schedule as we walk into new parenthood. Okay. We just had our first child, baby girl, and she's about 2 months now. And we have been able to develop a great routine, a great schedule up until this point. Obviously, things can change no matter what. At the flip of a hat, everything can change, right? Because baby girl is really dictating everything going on. But as new parents, it's given us some stability. Actually finished chapter 5 of my book, right? And even more importantly than chapter 5, I have so much more clarity about the book, right? Just I have direct targets. I have, things that I'm able to do. Shout out to YB, shout out to Jasmine, who's also a part of our community and extension of Coach. These 2 individuals have helped me to change my mindset around just writing a book and using the book to benefit in my business as well. So just having that clarity has been able to help me in my business as well as my personal life. I actually got a chance to see my best friend twice in 1 month. And you may say, oh, that don't mean nothing. But listen, when you go from barely ever seeing your friends to being able to see your close friends, and I don't care what nobody say, it's always good to be around friends and family, right? So I've been able to do those things. And speaking of my family, my mother has been down in North Carolina for about a month now. So just having my mom here with my baby girl and building that foundation and watching their relationship grow, it's been tremendous. It's been amazing. And it's helped me to understand that there's more to life than just business. There's more to life than just making money. It's more to life than just hitting targets. It's more to life, right? But I also noticed that if I don't get the things done that need to get done, those other things don't happen, right? Like, so all of these things that I just talked about, not just named, these are byproducts of what I'm going to share with you today. Because I executed the play, all of these other things happen, right? Okay. So I also want to share one more thing with you guys, because I know, it's always good to have motivation, inspiration, all of those things. But I also want to share with you what I'm going to give you today has helped me to produce over $3,500 in 1 month, right? Like this is not something that is all about just your growth individually and not your monetary growth, right? I believe that all of that grows together. Your wealth is actually a part of your health, right? So I'm always looking to enhance my wealth. And what I'm gonna share with you today will actually help you to increase your income. If that's one of the areas that you're looking to increase, it's definitely gonna be something that you can focus on. I'm so excited about this training, y'all, because one thing that doesn't matter, right? And I know sometimes when we get on these training calls and we go around and we share our small wins and we share the things that we are conquering in our life, we can also start to take away from the fact that we think that there are obstacles in our way, right? And I want to tear down some of those barriers and some of those things that we label as obstacles, right? So I want to start off right now and say, whatever job you have, whatever career you have, whatever business venture that you're in right now, doesn't matter about it when it comes to the play that I'm gonna give you today. Your education doesn't matter. You don't need a master's degree to complete the things that I'm gonna show you today. Although I have two of them, it didn't take me a master's degree to complete these things, right? Your size or weight doesn't matter. The age that you are, you know, if you saying, hey, well, I'm getting a little bit older, I'm getting up in their age, are these things gonna be able to help me? Yes, they will. Ethnic background, Black, white, Chinese, Spanish. I mean, but listen, I done taught so many different ethnic groups that I've realized that what really matters is you connecting with the person and having a genuine message, right? And that's what I'm gonna share with you today. Being tech savvy doesn't matter. If you don't know how to work a computer, don't worry about it. If you don't know how to look on your app and look for the app section and look on your phone and look on the app section and download something. If you don't know how to do that, it doesn't matter, right? So what I'm gonna share with you doesn't matter even if you have talent. That's crazy, right? When I say something like that, even I start to laugh. You don't have to have talent to do what I'm gonna show you today. And I'm actually an expert at being able to level up and work your way around talent, because when I started out coaching, I was a student manager. I had no talent in coaching, right? But what I realized is if I showed up early and I stayed late, I actually learned all of the other things that nobody else wanted to learn, right? And it helped me to level up even quicker than everybody else. So what I'm gonna share with you today doesn't have anything to do with talent, but it does start with developing your mindset. And when we think about mindset, don't let it get that deep. I'm just talking about whatever mood you in, right? I want to switch that mood. If you in a mood where you just think this is just some old random another training session, I want you to switch that mood. I want you to think like, this is the training session for me. All right. So let's stop right now. Let's say that together, right? Let's say that together, because I want you to get that energy. I want you to feel that energy right now. Like, I need you to say, this is the training session for me. Stop right now. Stop right now. Stop right now. On 3, we're going to say, this is the training session for me. 1, 2, 3. This is the training session for me. Yes, I said it, y'all. This is the training session for you. This is the one where you're going to be able to really be yourself, really open up, really interact, and make sure that you get something from it, right? It's that time. It's that time, okay? So we're gonna pregame it. And before we even get into the actual steps, there's a couple things that I want you to do that's gonna be able to help you throughout this process. All right, so I like to call this my pregame. And when I say my pregame, I mean, this is before we actually get into the training part of the 4 steps that I'm going to give you. I have different things that you need to do called the pregame. So in the pregame is number 1, get a scripture or a mantra that you stand on that supports your mission, right? Now, last week, our coach was talking about having a mission in your life, in your business. So along with that mission, I want you to develop a mantra or a saying that's attached to your mission. Let me give you an example, right? So one of my favorite scriptures is Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5. And that scripture really talks about putting your trust and your hope in Jesus Christ, putting our trust in God and not leaning on our own understanding. That is a mantra that I stand on. I am not going to lean on my own understanding. I'm going to lean on God's understanding, right? That scripture is something that I can build a foundation on, right? It gives me something that I can stand on and stand tall and proud. So I want you, and you don't have to get biblical, you don't have to get spiritual, but I believe that there's power in the word, right? But if you want to use something else, go ahead and use something. Maybe you have an affirmation that you say every morning that you would like to bring into the new year so you can make that thing become true. But I need you to get something, and I need you to write that down. That's the first thing in pregame. And now we working, y'all. Now we working, okay? So you should be writing something down. You should be thinking. You shouldn't be sitting there watching this, just listening to me. If you on this call right now, you're utilizing your time. I want you to get something back in return for your time. So please write these things down. All right, number 2 in the pregame. Number 2, I want you to pick a set time to pray or meditate every single day, okay? Now, do me a favor, guys. If you never ever pray, or if you never ever meditate, or if you're very sporadic with your meditation or your prayer or your alone time, if those are things that you are very sporadic with, I want you to give a reasonable, realistic time limit on this exercise. Okay, I do not need you to over promise and under deliver. Okay, let me say that again. If you're going to over promise, meaning you're going to say, hey, I'm gonna do this for an hour, but then you only do it for 10 minutes, you're not going to hit the mark, right? You're not going to get to the target. So we need a target. Now, I usually do this for 15 minutes every day. I set my watch, I set my timer on my watch, and I do not let any distractions come in place during my pregame. Meaning when I am praying and meditating, I am not letting somebody call my phone. I am not checking my text messages. I am not looking at my emails. I'm focused on my meditation, my breathing. I'm focused on my future. I'm focused on my affirmations, okay? So you need to take this alone time in your step 2. So I want you to look in your calendar and see when do you have the time and how much time can you actually dedicate to sitting down, praying, or meditating. Now, step 3 is an action step, okay? This is something where I'm going to need you to pick up your phone. I'm gonna need you to look into your calendar, and I'm gonna see when can you actually put the time in your calendar to meditate, okay? Well, I'm gonna say that again. Look in your calendar, look and see when do you actually have the time in your calendar to dedicate it to meditating or to your prayer time. The exercise of putting it in your calendar automatically is going to give you self-confidence, right? And just imagine you actually doing what's in your calendar consistently builds a muscle called consistency. I'm telling you, it's amazing, y'all. We overlook the small wins. Imagine you doing the things that you said that you were going to do on a consistent basis. That is what we call winning. It's very simple, y'all. Very simple. But simple does not mean easy. It does not mean that this is going to be easy. So I want you to stay committed to the process and not the outcome. All right, last step in our pregame. Step number 4. I need you to do what we just talked about with your prayer and your meditation of your mantra or your scripture reading every single day before you leave your house, okay? Before you go into somebody else's energy or somebody else's environment, I need you to create your environment. Because when you walk around, you either become the people that you're with or they get what you have rubbed off on them. And normally what I used to do is I would say, oh, I'm going to get to that when I get home. But by the time I got home, I got all my coworkers' ideas in my head. I got all of the experiences that I've had wrapped around, and now I have a warped mindset. But when I wake up in the morning, my mindset is fresh. It's ready for new ideas. It's ready for me to dictate how my day is going to be. And a lot of times, we will let the day dictate how it's going to be to us. And I'm telling you, after you take these 4 steps in your pregame morning routine, which I call a mastery thinking routine, You're going to now take your control back, right? You're going to now be in control from the beginning of the day all the way to the end, because you always have your mantra or your scripture that you can stop throughout the day and you can meditate on when things don't go right, right? And this is very basic stuff, but at the same time, simple is not easy, y'all. Don't overlook the fundamentals. When I teach student athletes how to play the game of basketball, a lot of parents want to start with a between the legs, behind the back, a crossover, spin moves. They want to see the stat back to James Harden, all of these crazy moves. And I asked them, well, don't you actually have to be able to finish a layup in order to do these things? Yes, coach, you do. So I'm going to teach your child how to finish a layup, right? Fundamentals. I'm starting at the ground level, and I'm going to work my way up. And this is what we're doing right now with this, okay? So now we did the pregame. So now I want to walk you through what the work actually is. And this is going to be another 4-step process, right? And this is where you actually start to get the results that I was mentioning at the beginning of the call. This is where you actually see things start to change, right? So I want to make sure that you really understand this. The steps are in the corner over there, but at the same time, I'm gonna walk you through each one. So don't waste your time trying to write them down right now. Once I get to the next slide, you're gonna be able to see it a lot better, right? So here we go. First thing, I want you to choose 3 activities you can do towards things that are important to you, okay? So let me break that down for you. If one of your most important areas, right? So I told you to pick the 3 areas. So now we're lining up an activity with each area. So if you said one of your most important areas was your health, right? What is a physical activity that you can do to help your health every single day? And if you can't do it every single day, could you be consistent enough and put a number on your consistency? So if you said, hey, I'm going to now work out, that is not good enough. I want you to tell me, how much are you going to work out? Is it going to be 3 to 5 times per week? Is it going to be for 30 to 45 minutes per workout, right? I want to know exactly how much time that's going to take. All right. Now, that is a key. You must know the time limit, the time span during the activity to give yourself the time to actually do it. Okay. So as you look at those main areas in your life, I want you to also line up an activity that is directly correlated to the main area in your life. All right. Next thing, I want you to get something done towards each thing and hit a direct target every single day. Okay. So let's go back to what I said before. If you said health, right? If you're talking about your health becoming better and you said, hey, I'm going to now work out. Well, we're going to put a direct target on that. I'm going to work out 5 times per day, or I'm going to work out 5 times per week for 30 minutes per day. Okay. That is very clear. That is very precise. That has a number on it. And I'm telling you how consistent I'm going to be with that thing. Right? So now you're going to do this for each area that we actually mentioned. All right. So I just want you to understand, as we go through this, you're looking at those major areas that you said matter to you. Okay. Next thing, I want you to complete these activities that are lined up with each area, which you should have at least 3 activities at this point. I want you to complete these things consistently for at least 14 days. Okay, so that's a 2-week span. So what we're doing now is we're developing the data. Okay, so now we're actually going in and we're completing the task that we said we were going to do every single day, or 3 times a week, or 5 times a week, whatever the consistency rate was that you mentioned. We're going to create that thing and knock it down. Okay, so now you got 2 weeks that you're actually looking and seeing, and you're calculating based on, are you completing the task? Now, you must be completing the task. The exercise will not work if you're not completing the task. That's why there's only 3 tasks. Now, I'm a 99% flamingo and lion, right? Those are my two most dominant animals when we look at the animal assessment. And I know that I can get faster pace. And what usually happens is I don't stay consistent with something long enough to measure and see if it's working. I automatically hop into the next best idea. And doing this triple threat framework that I'm sharing with you today, this actually helped me to get centered around major things that matter in my life. And it helped me to simplify things to the point to where I got the results that I really wanted to get. Okay, now, after the 14 days or the 2-week period, I want you to reevaluate your targets and make proper adjustments. Now, this is the part that we overlook as entrepreneurs, as business owners, a lot of the times. We'll put something out to the market and we'll never come back and check and see, how did it do? Did the market respond to it? What did the market tell us, right? Even in our personal life. If you're trying to work out 3 to 5 times a week and you're not making it, if you're not hitting the target, what is going on? What are the adjustments that you need to make? You know, because after the 14 days, we're going to take a TO, which is a timeout, and we're going to reevaluate things, right? As a coach, I know in a game, when the momentum starts to go in a different direction, I like to call a timeout, right? But at this point, we're trying to build momentum. So we got to call a timeout and we got to regroup based on the things that we just tried out, y'all. All right, so you should have these things written down in your notes at this point with those 3 major areas, because we're going to start sharing, right? Once I close out, we going around on a call. I want to hear your triple threat, share it with the group. This is what's going to really build that momentum going into the new year. Okay, so I'm not going to just leave you out there, because I know I learn by visual sake. So here is my visual triple threat in my personal life, y'all. This is what I created for myself. As you can see right here, I have my 3 major areas. Number 1 is my health. Number 2, I'm finishing up my book right now. So I'm in the process of writing my book and getting it self-published. Number 3 is increasing my income. So those are the 3 major areas that I was looking into getting better at as I did my triple threat exercise, right? So once again, if you weren't clear about that, go back to the beginning. Make sure you are clear on those 3 major areas that matter to you. I don't want you doing nothing else that nobody else is trying to talk you into. What matters to you right now? Because at the time when you look in the mirror and you decide that it's time for you to get better, your situation is going to get better. That's when things are going to change. That's when my life started to change, when myself and my wife took a time and sat down. We went on somewhere and sat down and said, we need to get better. And where are the areas that we need to get better? And we identified those areas. Okay, so now you can see right here, my 1 activity for my health was working out at least 30 minutes per day, right? And I didn't make it nothing crazy. I said to myself, hey, if you're at home with your daughter and your daughter is in her bouncy chair and she's chilling, you need to knock out 10 to 20 push-ups. You know, you need to be taking the steps when you come home. You need to be holding that car seat, doing the raises, right? You need to be doing that. That's dedicated towards your 30 minutes of physical activity, right? Then the next thing that I made sure that I focused on was writing in my book. But once again, I know myself. So I know I don't like to be locked into a direct way of doing things. I like to be on the fence, right? So I also said, okay, I'm gonna give myself some freedom. It's not about just writing in the book. I can also count if I call and I connected with somebody that may have a book. If I'm speaking with other authors, if I'm on a podcast sharing messages out the book, if I'm on my Instagram talking about the book, if I go live and I actually promote the book, if I'm on a call like this and I'm promoting the book, this goes towards my work of working towards the book, right? I'm actively looking for areas where I can share information from the book. If I do that, I actually hit my 2nd area, right? And then my 3rd area is actually creating at least $50 a day. New money. I said to myself, within my personal coaching, within my basketball training, within doing a side hustle of Instacart, food, DoorDash, whatever it is. I don't care what I had to do. I had to make $50 a day. Now, some days I would make $200. Some days I would make $300. But I also knew that meant that the next day I still had to make $50, right? So I made sure that I was focused on the target every single week, every single day, every single moment. I was looking to crush these three things. Now you may say, Coach DP, these are very, very simple things, right? But I want you to look at it, right? I want you to have some time with me right now and think about this, man. I was able to finish the book within this time, y'all, because I was laser focused. I wasn't focused on everything else. And guess what? I still did the things that I needed to do. I still went to the places that I needed to go. I was still there for my wife and my daughter. I'm still living my life. I'm still living the vida loca, baby. You know, like I'm still doing the things that I need to do. But we will get caught up in, oh, I gotta go do this. No, you get the opportunity to actually work on things that you love to do. But sometimes we don't love what we're working on. So I'm asking you, go into 2022 doing the things that you love to do, because that's what you got into entrepreneurship for. I know, and that's why I changed my whole basketball training business. I said, man, I'm only doing the stuff that I really want to do. I'm not going to be doing sessions that I don't feel comfortable doing. I had a parent walk up to me and ask me my credentials and who have I worked with and all of these questions. And I politely told the parent, this may not be a good fit, because I'm not into proving myself at this point in my career, right? I'm into helping others. I'm into helping you to reach your dreams and your aspirations. I'm into helping your student athlete to understand that they're not just an athlete, that they need to build this athlete's mindset, because you're now a business owner. You can now make thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars off of your social media. You can't be out here looking at yourself as though all you can do is shoot a jump shot. You know what I'm saying? You can't be doing stuff like that. The world is offering so much more now. And I need you to take advantage of those opportunities, y'all. All right, so these are my three. This is my triple threat. I want you to understand during this time, guys, and I'm about to wrap it up, and then we're going to go around and we're going to share. During these times, I had some moments where I struggled during the process, right? While I was out trying to make my $50, while I was trying to make sure I was working out, you know, there was sometimes where I woke up and I said, I don't feel like doing this. I don't really feel like going through all of this. I could take today off. I hit the mark yesterday. Why do I need to keep stressing about today, right? And when I got to those points, I ran through a quick exercise that I'm gonna share with you. I stopped when I began to feel overwhelmed. I stopped and I took deep breaths. There's so much power in the way that we breathe. You can slow your body down by taking deep breaths and understanding that you control your breathing. Your circumstances don't control your breathing, right? And once you can take that control back, you start to take back control over your personal life and your business. During that time, as I took in that deep breath, I also remembered my mantra and my biblical stance. I remember my foundation scripture that I talked about. And I would actually say that greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. And I would exhale that, right? And I would do that for about 2 to 3 minutes, and I would time it with no distractions. And I would repeat other affirmations or confirming scriptures that would come to my mind. And before you knew it, that overwhelmed feeling, it left. And it was no longer with me. It was no longer around me. I didn't have to worry about that. I could now be myself, guys, and I can let those things go. And what usually happened after that, I actually completed the task. I actually did the things that I needed to do, right? So this is something that I went back to. And this is why I'm telling you to start out with the pregame. Because if you don't do the pregame, if you don't stretch before you start to work out, if you don't get your mindset right before you go into a new venture, if you don't develop your mindset before the new year, right, you will have the right You will say the right things. You will write down the right vision. You will think the right thoughts, but you won't be able to complete the mission if you don't have the correct mindset. We have to be renewed by our mindset every single day. If you're not taking time out to build the mindset, which is a muscle, if you're not building that mindset, it's not going to work, right? So as you get overwhelmed, here is something that definitely helped me. I pray that it can help you. And it's just a little quick little checklist for you, right? I keep mine on my phone. And when things get rough, I run to it, right? So let's go ahead. Let's talk about your triple threat. I just shared with you my triple threat. And remember, this is to help you to build the personal momentum that you're going to need to get the things done in your life, right? So I wanted to share that with you guys in this live training session to help you to understand that life is not going to be easy, but it will be worth it at the end of the day. If you're willing to put the work in, if you're willing to change who you are, if you're willing to step up to different things, then I guarantee that your life will change, right? Things will change in your life. So if you don't take nothing else away from this, y'all, I want you to take this one thing. Remember, nothing changes until you change. I'm gonna say that again because you might have missed it. Nothing changes until you change. So make the change today. And as always, trust the grind. Let's get it. Opening up my doors before the first of the year. My prices are still at my 2021 prices for individual life coaching, business coaching. If you're looking to become an entrepreneur, if you're in entrepreneurship and you need a mentor, you need somebody that's going to walk you through hand in hand and give you more clarity, help you to understand the business side, help you to understand the art of farming and hunting, please schedule a call. My link is below in my bio. Schedule a call. It's a free growth call, y'all. Going into the new year, I want you to get the help that you need, and I want you to get it for a reasonable price, because come new year, I'm just going to be honest, guys, my time is limited, and I've been helping so many people that my prices are going to be rising. And I want you to be a part of the movement. I want you to get to where you want to go. I want to help as many people as I can actually reach their 6-figure mark or 7-figure mark or whatever their target is this year. I want to help you get to that. I don't want you by yourself. Come get the help that you need, y'all. Hey, y'all have a great week, and I'm out.